Okay, you should hear me now. Okay, you should hear me now. Okay, you should hear me now. So unfortunately you're gonna hear a bit of a feedback loop. 1 second. Okay, everyone. I know this is late, at least late at night, early for what's going on, but I figured while I have time and while it's still pretty fresh, I would do it now. And then I also want to test to make sure that my intro worked because I noticed on the last ones I haven't had it up there, so I figured I would do it now. But so I got a couple of things going here. I'm trying to make sure I turn down. But then you're just gonna kind of see me light a match here. Have to get my candles together. So this is probably gonna be pretty quick. I'm not gonna go all in depth with this. Basically we're gonna just see if you haven't paid attention. So a bit about the Gwyneth Paltrow case. For example, Gwyneth Paltrow is doing a symbolic lawsuit right now for a ski incident that happened. A guy bumped into her on the slopes or whatnot and is accusing her of assaulting him, and so he's currently suing her, I think, for $300,000. It was $3 million, but he lowered it. And she is countersuing for a symbolic dollar. And you know, some people are kind of like, well, what's the truth on that? And then you also have Jonathan Majors, who is currently all over the news right now because of an alleged assault allegation. And it broke, what was that, the 25th? I think he was arrested, like late at night, at the 25th in New York, I believe. I want to say it was in New York. But now he is alleging that the victim was having, or him and his lawyers are saying that the victim is allegedly was suffering from a mental breaker or psychosis or something, and is recanting their statements. And the only reason why Jonathan was allegedly arrested was because when police are called for situations like that, someone has to be arrested or whatnot. So yeah, it's a real convoluted, and a lot of people believe that this is Disney hard at work trying to make sure that their actor is free and out of jail because they have, as you know, Jonathan Majors is currently in the middle of his whole spiel. And hold on, am I hearing myself? Hello? Yeah, there's a bit of a feedback. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's. now I shouldn't have an echo. Sorry if you was hearing the echo. Okay, yeah, now it shouldn't be an echo. But you're gonna hear it one more time because I have to make sure that this is okay on here. But you're gonna hear it one more time because I have to make sure that this is okay. So I think we're good. So where was I in the middle of? Yeah, a lot of people think this is Disney's books at work allegedly trying to save Jonathan Majors because of, you know, he's one of their main actors right now for their phase, what is this, 4, 3, 2, I don't know, of Marvel. So yeah, so we're just gonna look a little bit into this. Let me make sure one more time before I get started. So we're just gonna look a little bit into this. I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit more. I feel like the music was a little high. Okay, so just to make sure that that was okay. So in the meantime, I'm gonna shuffle these cards and see what we get. All right. All right, let's see here what we get. So right now, yeah, let's do Gwyneth Paltrow. Let's do her first. Ladies first. Okay, wait. I didn't even have the question all the way formed yet. Okay. Okay, we had 2 cards flip over. Interesting. The 2 of coins and the heart. I said the heart. The 3 of swords. Let me make sure this is on the screen for you all. Okay, let's see. Did that help a little bit with the lighting? I think that should have helped. This should help with the lighting a little bit because it was a little fleshed out there. Okay, let's see what, sorry, that flew off on the side. And that was way too many cards. We're gonna see what, I forget what the defendant's name is. Is he the defendant or is he probably should check that. I'm not gonna say this person's name, but I'm gonna think it. I'm gonna think it while I do this. I mean, it's public record, so you can all look it up if you want, but. So for the person that she's alleging ran into her, we got 3 cards here. We got Death. We got the Queen of Cups. And then we also had the 3 of Coins or Pentacles. I don't know how that fits on there. And their underlying energy is the Five of Cups, but it was in reverse, so let me hold it that way. It was in reverse for the underlying energy. And then what is the energy between them? Yeah. Power struggle. That's what I sense. I'm confused of why she would have kind of like the Three of Swords, because it typically reads like heartbreak or, you know, healing. But she has it in reverse, and then she has the Two of Coins. And then I'm gonna just say alleged victim, or should I say alleged, the opposing party. Let's say that Gwyneth, the opposing party. The Queen of Cups in reverse. I'm starting to believe that maybe Gwyneth was the wronged party in this, allegedly, with the Queen of Cups here, and then the Death card and the Three of Pentacles. It kind of reads like this person is out for money and probably coming from an emotional space or a vindictive space, again, allegedly. And then with this King of Wands in the middle, yeah, of course, that will probably be the energy in between them. Very passionate, very kind of like, it kind of gives me power struggle. It gives me defensive or offensive, depending on what it is. With it facing this way, though, I feel like this person is on the offensive. Gwyneth, is on the defensive. Let's see what the jurors are thinking. Let's see what the jurors' energy is. Or I should say, what do they call them? Is that jurors? Look, unless you know, I don't do court things. Yeah, the jurors, because they're the jury, yeah. Let's see. Can I get two more cards for the energy surrounding the jury? Two more cards on the energy surrounding the jury. Oh, well, I actually got 3. So let's see here. Yes, a lot of fiery energy in here for sure. So we got the Queen of Wands. We got the Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is a nightmare for sure. Oh, hold on, wait. Let's see if I can fit these all on here. We have the Moon. I'm going to move this over a little bit. And then we also have the Six of Swords. So remember, this is the juror's energy. How many jurors is in this case? Let's look at that too. I don't think they say how many it is, because it would be interesting if it is 5 of them. It's funny, I'm reading this article from the New York Post, and it reads that the alleged victim, or yeah, I'll say the alleged victim because I think they are the one that's did the initial lawsuit. They're saying that Gwyneth feels that he has no joy in his life. Oh, sorry, that Carlene Davidson, whoever that is. Pretty interesting. So they're not really saying how many people was in this. It's just a lot of like he said, she said, really. Some testimonial stuff for sure. So yeah. So, but it would be interesting if it is 5 jurors. But I think they typically have what, 9 for when you do cases like this. I think it's typically 9 or something like that. But with this being here, it kind of reads like there's probably going to be some an interesting discovery. I think this is going to be a lot of a kind of like who has more of like the quality testament. Because like right now, Gwyneth is saying like, I didn't. It's kind of like Gwyneth is coming off kind of like, I don't really need to do this lawsuit, even though I was the one that was the victim. And yes, I am a celebrity. I don't really need this money. I don't need to feel vindicated in this or whatever, but I do need to clear my name. Whereas the other person is coming with a lot of nasty energy and seeing this as an opportunity to kind of come up, at least on a financial stance. I think this has really played kind of, I think this is going to be I don't know, like, is it like a war of psyche, if that makes sense, or of wits, as you could say. I think there's going to be a lot of creative storytelling in this as well, with the magician being here. With the Queen of Wands being here. I mean, the moon definitely says, something's going to be revealed. I think there's going to be some kind of like damning evidence or testimony or allegation or something like that that's going to come up and kind of like change a lot of people's opinions on this. This is probably going to be like the determining factor for this case. I don't know. With this 6 of Swords here leaving, I think it's going to come down to, because I think this happened in, was it Utah? And I think there was something about people deliberating, because they have like certain ski laws and things like that, of kind of like who, I want to say allegedly is like who was at the bottom of the slope first. So I think that's probably going to be what they're going to really focus on, of like who was at the bottom of the slope first kind of thing, and get around all of that. And I think someone is going to be really disappointed about that. I think people are really going to be surprised by what's going to come out of it as well, just because I just think about how much flack Gwyneth got for the whole Goop thing a couple years ago. And I don't think people are going to like to see, I feel like emotionally a lot of people are not going to like to see her win, but I feel like this is in her favor. Like, wrong is wrong, essentially. Let's see if we can get more clarity on this one, though. Alright. Now, that was way too many cards. I love when my cards just fly all over the place. But let's see here. Okay. Blinded to pain. Is this just gonna be a thing of like who can get the most sympathy points? I hope not. But they say when you do things like this, especially when it comes to celebrity things, lawsuits, allegations, whatever, a lot of the times is, court of public opinion. How do people really feel about you? So I think Gwyneth's lawyers are definitely going to have an uphill battle of kind of like trying to combat people's perceived outlook on Gwyneth. Ooh, and then what we got? We also got the child I was meant to be. And can we get one more? Oh, and this came out. We got Alone in the World. This is really a lot of emotional baggage going on here for a freaking court case. So I think it's really going to come down to who they feel who has dealt with damages, and I don't want to even say like physical. I would say more of, again, the emotional, the mental baggage of it all. Ugh. Let me pull one more card here for something. I'm getting a lot of dreamy cards. Perchance to dream. If you know anything about the Nine of Swords, it usually deals with like bad nightmares. Of course, you see the person in bed. It deals with like bad nightmares and things like that. When you deal with the moon, that also can deal with like intuition, sleep, dreams, things of that nature. Yeah. This just reads like this is kind of like a vindictive lawsuit. I'm inclined to believe that Gwyneth is the person in the right, and the pursuant of this whole allegation is the one that's kind of like coming from a very emotional place and trying to recoup, I don't know, something that they feel was lost, or they feel like they can use this as kind of like a I want to say like get rich quick scheme, but it's like a, you know, a way to kind of put themselves ahead, or, you know, back on track to a normal space again. They're really trying to create, it feels like they're trying to create something out of nothing, something that they really don't have, when they should just leave it alone. Let's see, what will be the outcome of this case? So I got the Ace of Cups, but I don't know if it came out upside down or not, because I just kind of like flipped it over. I want to say it probably came out upside down, but we're going to leave it there. It's a lot of wands and cups coming through on this. I do also want to go back and note that with the pursuant, I'm just going to keep calling it pursuant, or the alleged victim, with the Three of Coins being here, and it's just before the Four of Coins, yeah, it just seems like a come up for sure. There's a lot of emotion and passion in this. I think, again, it's coming from a vindictive place. Did one flip over? No. Okay. One flipped over, or two. Yeah, somebody is hoping to get their dreams answered with this for sure. The Ten of Coins, but I don't think it's going to end the way they think. I think the alleged victim seeing an opportunity where they could get something that they've always wanted, or a leg up in a way. They decided to, you know, they were dabbling on whether or not they was going to make the choice. They've probably chosen wrong. It's going to be a waste of everyone's time and money. It's just going to be a big fiasco, essentially. And I think, especially with this Nine of Cups being here, I think something is going to I really want to say this is more like Gwyneth's energy though. Like she's gonna get um vindication. Like, y'all want to make me out to be a bad person, but I'm not really all that bad. Look at what this person is doing. And look what's on the bottom, the underlying energy. Ooh, I think my fee is starting to drop. Hopefully it's playing fine for you all. I see it's kind of slowing up on my end. But they have the Nine of Wands underneath, which usually deals with like rest and respite, look back. I think somebody is going to have to change tactics again. I already know that the pursuant has changed tactics from, suing for the 3 million and downgraded it to the 300,000 to combat the whole symbolic $1 lawsuit that Gwyneth is doing. But yeah, I think there's going to be another tactic change, another angle that probably the prosecuting attorneys are going to try to do against Gwyneth Paltrow's defending team. So yeah, and then we also have the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Is this going to be something they're going to settle outside of court? With some of these cards that's coming up on the bottom, I wonder if it's going to be something where they're going to decide to settle it outside of court. Allegedly. People doing the, there again, that could be the tactic change that's coming up here. It could be, I'd rather just settle this outside of court for an undisclosed amount for undisclosed reasons. NDA type stuff. Did one flip over? Okay, I thought I had one flip over. Thought I dropped one. Nope. Well, I think that's all we're gonna. Oh wait, as soon as I was about to get ready, we got the blue lace agates. Stability, grounding, and supportive. Yeah, the supportive was like the word that kind of jumped out for me. Well, the stability too. The prosecuting team, the alleged victim, again, I think is definitely looking for some financial stability, and this was his way of getting it. I think with Gwyneth though, I think she's gonna kind of come out on this on top. And so far with the evidence that has been entered, she seems like she is the harmed party allegedly, but we'll see. With the Eight of Hearts, I think justice is going to be served. Whoever was in the right here, I think it's going to be served. I think it's going to come up. I think the jurors are going to get it right with the evidence that's going to come forth. So yeah, good luck. Hopefully this, justice is served and it comes out like it should. And yeah, I don't kind of trust the prosecuting team. I'll say that though. The way this is kind of coming out, this kind of looks like a line my pockets kind of thing. But with that, we'll see. We're gonna get some more details on that. But at least that's what we have with the current energies at play. But now let's get into the whole Jonathan Majors portion of this. I know that's probably what a lot of people are waiting on. Let's see here. Is it? I don't want this to be dropping. Okay. Hopefully that helps. I don't know why I was kind of like stuttering there for a minute. Now I was trying to catch up. Okay. Refresh these energies on here. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of it all, because I know why you're really here. Because this is kind of like the big news. So we're going to do Jonathan Majors. Oh, excuse me. The alleged victim. And then the energies between them. Okay, we got the Magician again. Okay, these kind of was turned to the side, so let's see here. Wow, King of Swords and King of Wands. Okay, I felt like one flipped over. Was I misseeing that? Okay. Nope, there it goes. I feel like an altercation definitely happened, allegedly. Okay, I'm getting jilted lover. Allegedly, I'm getting jilted lover here. Like woman scorn type of thing. Ooh, and then this wanted to come out. I find that pretty interesting that he also has the Six of Cups. And the Judgment card is in reverse. This kind of reads like, again, like a lover's quarrel for sure. Like, they were both seeing this relationship or whatever they had. Oh wait, and look what was up underneath. Ace of Swords in reverse. That's the underlying energy here. Yeah, it just seems like they were seeing the relationship in two different ways, and now that it's come out, I think, you know, something was said or somebody was trying to break up with somebody and it turned into this whole other thing. It's kind of just reading like jilted lover. Look at that. Peaceful among the thorns. Let me get a bit more clarity on this. Okay. Ooh, yeah, it's not reading good for baby girls over here. It's right now it's kind of feeling like Jonathan was ready to move on. Allegedly, Jonathan was ready to move on from this or whatever, or was changing it up or something, and she was not having it. Interesting, he got revenge. So I feel like this could read one of two ways. Maybe he was coming at her from a malicious point of view. I don't know, maybe he was cheating, allegedly, whatever, and that's what led into this whole little snowball effect of them getting into an argument, this scuffle. I definitely think there was some kind of like scuffle that happened. I don't know if it occurred in the matter that was initially reported to us though. Ooh, let me fix this camera here. I don't know if it happened in the initial way that it was reported to us, but yeah, I definitely think she got into her feelings about this, because we have downcast pride, we have the Knight of Cups here, and then we also have the King of Swords and the King of Wands. To me, it just seems like, again, a lot of this was playing off of emotions. Her pride got in the way. I think there was, again, miscommunication or something here of like they weren't on the same page. There wasn't a lot of agreement going on here. Somebody was seeing this. It kind of feels like when you see something as a relationship and somebody's like, nah, it's not that serious, and that was caused this. But again, going back to revenge, this could be one of two ways. Like the initial breakup or something could have been the revenge, or Jonathan Majors is going to be vindicated at the end of all of this, when, you know, all of the details and everything rolled out, allegedly. Again, I know everybody want to kind of believe the conspiracy that Disney is probably helping him with this, but so far it's looking like that's not the case. And then also with the two being here, and then they were stating that the alleged victim was saying that that she was suffering from like a psychotic meltdown or whatever. This kind of reads like bipolar, I guess, is what I kind of want to say, is what I am saying, allegedly. I don't know if that's true, but it just kind of seems like yeah. And then what we got here: protection, love, wisdom, peace, intuition, spirituality. Yeah, it kind of reads like she was reading into this more than he was. It just seems like it started off as a typical argument you would see with most couples. I don't know how long they dated, if they even were dating. But yeah. Let's get what is going to be the outcome of this with Jonathan Majors. Allegations. Assault allegation. Ooh, all these try to slide. Can I get 3 cards as to what the outcome would be? Okay, that's 1. Knight of Pentacles up. So it looks like he's going to have to be paying for silence. And then we also have Knight of Wands. Can I get one more card? Ooh. It's so many cards that want to come out. Okay, I'll just take these 2. I asked for 1. So I think there's definitely going to be a lot of money spent for the whole PR cleanup of this. Maybe it'll do some legal team. Maybe it's going to be some, you know, NDA signing, some stuff behind the doors. I think there's probably going to be something settled, hopefully outside of the courtroom. I don't know, with this World card here, it makes me think a lot of this stuff is going to come to light though. I think a lot of like what's gonna happen that night is gonna end up coming out because of the world card being here. But I think it's gonna be hush hush for a minute. Like we may not know for like a few months, maybe a few. I would say at the max a year, and or two. And then we'll kind of know what more is gonna come out. I think there's gonna be, again, he's definitely. I feel like he's definitely gonna have to come out some money because she feels like a jilted lover. She allegedly, like, they're coming from a place of anger right now. I just wanted to see. Then we got 3 additional cards here. Ooh, these don't read too well. 3 of Cups. So we got the Wheel of Fortune, the Devil, and then the 3 of Cups. I feel like there's somebody else in the middle of this too. Is there somebody else in the middle of this? Fragmentation. This just like reaffirms to me that, you know, we're not getting the whole story. And we may never get the whole story. And then we got, what is this? Oh, look at that. Anger and chains. What did I say? I just keep going back and thinking about the whole thing of when he did the, was that Ebony? He did the little cover where he was in pink and everything, and everybody was like, oh, they're emasculating black men. And then he followed up in that recent thing with, was that Dish Nation or NPR, like, you know, I wouldn't want to run into me on the streets kind of thing. Just kind of like reaffirming his manhood. I think he's definitely gonna have to check his anger during this situation. I think a lot of things are gonna probably come up about his past. You know, people are gonna throw dirt on you, kick you while you down, and I think he's gonna have to control his anger, you know, allegedly during this time while all of this is going on, because yeah, it's not gonna put him in the right light. It's not gonna look good for him at all. So I would definitely say Jonathan needs to check his anger during this time. Probably need to lay low, hide out somewhere, try to settle this as, you know, quietly as possible. And just kind of like get this over with. What do you know? We also have the 8 of Swords underneath. So to me, it just kind of seems like, it feels like the alleged victim really has his future in her hands. Like, she can play this either way. I don't know. I know they said it was like a driver that was a witness to all of this too, and I think it's 2 other witnesses, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly. But I don't think their testimony has come out yet. I don't think they've spoken about what happened. Let's see here. I got 3 cards again. It's a lot of world. So the Hermit. So I think there's going to be somebody who's going to step forward who's probably not, who's going to want to remain anonymous. They're not going to want to be known. With the Hermit card being here, the 2 of Wands. Yeah, it just reads like somebody knows something and they're not wanting to say something right now. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. Who's this Queen of Pentacles? What's this underlying energy again? Oh. I kind of want to say, is it the other woman? Allegedly? with the Ace of Wands underneath. I don't know. Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Hearts. So the Nine of Hearts kind of reads, if you do tarot, it reads like the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups usually means wish fulfillment. Usually means, yeah, it's like the wish card. Purity, truth, and perfection. I don't know what this other person energy that I'm picking up on, but I think it's somebody else in the middle of this. I don't know if it's one of the witness. I don't know if it's, or somebody who's seen what happened. I don't know if it's the alleged other woman or person that's involved in this. Because again, I felt like it was something of like Jonathan then was trying to break up with her or was cheating or something allegedly, and that led to all of this. But yeah. I keep looking at this Two of Wands because something else feels like it wants to come up with that for sure. Okay, let's see what we got. I just got this for Gwyneth, for chance to dream. Desire is the word that's coming to mind, and I don't know if it's somebody is not going to get what they desire or somebody is going to get what they desire. But desire was a word that popped in my head. That would explain why effervescent joy and happiness is here on the paradigm. I don't know if you can kind of see that one. If you see that on there. I would definitely say stand by this though. I think we're definitely gonna get a lot of details or tidbits about Jonathan Majors in the upcoming days and weeks to follow this for sure. I think there's gonna be a lot of I remember one time working with him and this and this happened, or allegedly he did this, or I'm not surprised because one time allegedly he did this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's a couple of things that's going to come to light that's going to have people look at him different. And yeah, he's going to have to kind of like wash his image, if that makes sense. Let's see, where was the other line? Obsession. Yeah, honey, whoever. Obsession was the other. Oh, is it on there? Yeah. This, allegedly, this person just feels like not so good person. Feels very kind of like toxic relationship. It almost, I hope this is not the case. I really do hope this is not the case of like, you know how you hear stories about people who use their mental diagnosis or whatever as an excuse for why they are the way they are, and why you shouldn't leave them because it'll cause that mental diagnosis to get even worse, kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of like what this feels like. I'm really interested to see if we're gonna know more about the other party, not Jonathan, the other party, and know kind of like her background and what they do, and kind of like get a feel for her character. Because allegedly, that's just kind of like how it's coming off. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get anything else. Again, can't wait to see what more is going to come out about this. But yeah. I would say, to sum it up, yeah, again, we're going to get a lot of things about Jonathan that's probably going to change how the public views him. I think there's going to be some negotiating and settling behind the scenes that's going to come up. I think there is going to be a lot of, an uphill battle. There is going to be a lot of money being spent on this as well, whether it's just with, going the legal route or, the whole PR around it. Just kind of like trying to clean up his image and keep it perfect. But I definitely want to know more about the alleged victim and see what the they all discover and unveil through this, for sure. So yeah. Yeah, it just reads very conflicting. Like, I think there's somebody else involved in this, for sure. And I don't know if this, just one of the key witnesses, or if it's the alleged other party in this situation. I don't think they were with anyone else, but who knows? We're going to see. We're going to see. With that, though, I am going to wrap it up here. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs down. What's kind of like your running theory on this? And like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, for more videos. And I will see you all on Wednesday. Yes, because I will be doing a general reading for all of the zodiac signs. So come back then and kind of get your update for what you will be looking, the energies and things like that you'll be having to deal with for the month of April. So with that, again, bid you all adieu. Have a good night or good day wherever you are. And thanks for joining me.